I believe that a human's greatest confidence and pride come from tending the earth in a give and take that is abundant in giving more than taking. I believe that hard work and attunement to the seasons requires patience, restraint, and response to nature that builds resilience and a kind character. I believe that gardening nourishes the mind, body, and soul, giving to our families what they most need: honest food, quiet harmony with nature, and small challenges to overcome. I believe that my children are learning lifelong skills and lessons that will indelibly inspire them and shape their future and those after them. I believe that the best things in life are indeed simple and free. The scent of orange blossoms covered in dew, the pushing of a seed through its casing, the sight of a bumblebee falling asleep on a sunflower. I believe that reverence for that which is beyond our control makes us better. I believe that caring for the tiny species whom we are irrevocably dependent on, the bugs and the birds and the butterflies, require us to live greatly and beyond the thought of ourselves. I believe that planting a tree, whose shade I will not sit in, will be how I leave my mark.
Hi, Bailey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing so well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored.
No, you know what? Not many husbands they don't really nominate their wives for a Power Mom series. And, this Mother's Day, I got a call from your husband and he said, I nominate my wife as a Power Mom. So, congratulations, Bailey, for being, nominated by your husband.
Thank you.
How many women would love that?
So true.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And this series is really about celebrating a mom who started a business, has kids, has a husband. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but talk to us about your family.
Yeah, so I actually have a picture right here I can show. I am married with two beautiful children. They're older than this now, but my husband, Joe, is an entrepreneur, and we have our two kids who are almost 5 and almost 3, a boy and a girl. Our oldest, Boyd, who's almost 5, is so high energy, super curious, super, super sweet, loves mom. And then our youngest, Georgia, who's almost 3, is like the absolute sweetest, heaven sent little like girly girl, and she is so much fun. So they just both like talk and talk and talk and talk. So they're busy, but they play together really well, which is such a gift. And yeah, I am like totally obsessed with being a mom and being a wife, and I love it.
So now you have all this time being a mom, and then now you go start a business. What is it? What do you do?
Yeah. So I started out actually when my husband and I started dating, started a business, and I knew it wasn't the exact right fit, but I did enjoy being an entrepreneur. I ended up going in-house with a client, working for someone else when I had my son. And that juggle was so hard for me, figuring out the balance between being a mom. I really wanted to be with him as much as possible, but I also really like to work. So I kind of did that juggle for a while. And then when I was pregnant with my daughter, was like, I cannot do this anymore. I have to either be a full-time stay-at-home mom or figure out a way for me to work and have sort of time freedom and flexibility with my schedule so that I can be as present with the kids as I want to be, and then adjust like the rest of the world around them. So that's when I began sharing about what I do now on social media, and things really picked up. So I guess saying that I'm like a gardening, I consider myself a garden blogger. It started really naturally as a creative outlet and something I really loved. I felt really called to share about it so that other people could find like the self-reliance and the inspiration and the confidence through gardening like I did.
Mhm.
But eventually it became a business because sort of my preparation was met with opportunity. And I also knew I really wanted that freedom and flexibility. Um, so that's kind of, it became this perfect storm. When I started taking things seriously, I did feel like I wanted to contribute financially for our family. We live in Southern California, so it's pricey to live here. I wanted to contribute in that sense, but
Did you
also,
always live around Southern California?
yeah, my husband and I, since we've been together, yeah, but I grew up on a little hobby farm in Northern California. So I've
Right,
always been a Cali girl, I guess. But
right.
so yeah, I mean, I eventually, my husband was kind of like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I kind of just want to garden and like hang out with my kids. And I want to find a way to make that integrated as my life and my work. And that's not always easy. It's not always pretty, but I absolutely love it. And it helps me keep my priorities where I want them. And the timing was right with 2020 that people were now at home wanting to garden and figure out what to do with their kids.
Right. It was a nice COVID thing. So, social media is infested with everyone so happy, so successful, and just doing really well. They seem to be amazing at everything that they're doing, whether it's being a mom or a dad or being in business. So I'd love for you to share one really tough moment where you had to make some really tough decisions to balance out this wish to launch a business, be a mom, and stay sane.
Yeah. So I think there was a really pivotal moment. I had figured out how to like loosely monetize my Instagram. I started getting some sponsorships around gardening. But I wasn't taking it super seriously. I was still staying home most of the time with the kids. It felt really chaotic. I wasn't like maximizing my potential. I really felt like I hadn't really professionalized in a way that I was proud of. And then I started to feel like, okay, now I'm like short with the kids because I'm trying to do like work, but I haven't really professionalized work. And then when I'm doing work, I feel like the product's not that great because I'm distracted. And
Yeah.
there came a point where I realized, I do want to invest in myself, but I need more skills and I need also time and space to do that. So I need to have set boundaries where my kids I either have a sitter, a nanny, a school situation set up. And then also I need to like create this sort of professional structure for my business and really lean into that. And I would say that first year in business, 2020, if I kind of started like taking sponsorships and doing like work in June, in October is when I was really confronted with like, kind of what do I do with the kids? What do I do with the business? And it felt hard because I felt like I was making a choice away from my kids and towards myself. Like it just felt really selfish. I'm not a very self-interested person typically. Like I will just give everything for everyone. I can't even think about what I want or need because I just want them to have the best experience. Aside from even the work stuff, my kids wanted and needed that. They're really social kids. They're really bright. And so having other people care for them has been really beneficial for them too. And school and so like being
Right.
social has been great for them. So that aside from everything else was a great move. But I ended up going to a retreat, sort of learning how to monetize my business. And it was the first really sort of steep financial investment in myself and my business that I took at this time where I was like, okay, I'm creating these like boundaries to invest in the business. Now I'm going to invest in myself and my knowledge.
Mhm.
And it was a really serious discussion with my husband in terms of, is this gonna like we kind of need to see an ROI on this, like
Who asked
um
who that?
it was just, I would say, a community discussion between the two of us. One of us is typically more heads in the clouds creative. I'm very like la la la, like I want to play in the garden and just I'll like make a mess and not even notice it because I'm just present and happy and excited. So it was a really serious time where I was like, I need to invest in myself. I know I can do this. I know this is going to pay us back and dividends. And I really had to be like, I need you to trust me that I know what I'm doing. And I needed to trust myself that like the whole family's taken care of and I can invest in me and like do this thing. And I was just calculating that expense versus what I made the 12 months after that. And it was a 20x investment. So I like times 20'd what I spent on like just learning and investing in myself in the following 12 months in terms of how much I made in, taking myself and my business seriously.
Wow, look at you, Bailey. And so what was it like with the kids though? Did they say, oh, we don't see you anymore, mom? Or did you incorporate them into the schedule?
Yeah. So, and still to this day, like I'm with them still part-time. So technically they're like doing, school days, 3 days a week. And then I'm home with them too, plus like the weekends. So, and we call those mom days when they're home with me and I still get to kind of feel like a stay-at-home mom. I mean,
Right.
all moms are moms all the time anyways. So, but they never said anything. They were young too. And it was kind of just normal. I do try to involve them to a degree. It's really feels heavy sometimes. I'm really strict about screen time with my kids, about them using it, what they watch, what they're exposed to. I actually really believe social media has more negative than positive impacts on youth. So it's kind of a tricky position to be in considering, 90% of my marketing is through social media and
Right.
40% of my business literally comes through Instagram. So that is a weird battle, but I started including them in terms of explaining what I do. Like mom makes videos teaching people how to garden and I show them my little videos. I let them help me watch. Sometimes they're in them.
So you've gone from 0 to times 20 ROI. Where to from here, Bailey?
I don't expect that kind of return in the next year, but I am hoping to increase my revenue for sure. So the first year in business, everything was really attached to me as a brand and my name. And this year I'm repositioning things and sort of relaunching a component of the business, which is a monthly gardening subscription for everyone in the US, every hardiness zone, to learn how and sort of stay on top of gardening month by month. I'm sort of rebranding that with its own name. I would love in the future to potentially make that a business that's sellable.
It sounds so empowering, and I love for other moms who want to be in your position today, Bailey, and the fact that you want to actually teach them how to do it. How do they get hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me would just be at baileyvantassel.com, BaileyVanTassel, kind of a big name, .com. And I'm on Instagram under the same name, Bailey Van Tassel. And that would be the best way. Yeah.
So if I wanted to start a garden, I should just buy a subscription. So you'll just keep me posted with what I should be doing.
Yes, exactly. So if you join the gardening club and you put in, I think you're zone 9 or 10 where you are, zone.
What's zone 9 or 10?
Okay, so everyone in the US lives in a hardiness zone, and it was created by the US government way back when like victory gardens were happening to help people understand their weather patterns and like how to garden in their specific area since the weather is so different across the states. And so it just kind of helps us now, if you're looking up online, like how to garden, the best way to do it is a way that's very specific to where you live. So our monthly gardening club sends you each month what you should be doing in the garden. We have 101 lessons every month on like how to do the things you should be doing. I have daily inspiration, like tips for living seasonally and bringing nature inside, involving the garden in your traditions and celebrations. We've got recipes,
Oh, wow.
private Facebook group. So it's really sort of a way to make gardening a bigger part of your life so that it's not overwhelming.
Great. I mean, how much is it to be a subscriber?
It's $15 a month or $135 a year.
I think I might just have to do that because I'm trying to get my garden together.
It's just the most convenient way to stay on top of it.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm so proud of you, Bailey.
Thank you.
It's not easy. It's really not easy. Taking it from, being a mom, wondering if this is what you should be doing to where you are today. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's so worth it, but it's really hard. And there's certainly, it's the winding path.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show. And again, if you want to get hold of Bailey, what is the website again?
It's BaileyVanTassel.com.
All right. And we'll be putting it in the chat as well on YouTube. Thank you so much, Bailey.
Thank you, Hema. Have a great day.
You too.